saw an opportunity. 8,500 of leads that were in the pond, no activity, no one following up with them. There's got to be something out here.
When we had hired you guys, that's where I sent the ISA, and he dove in. And after one shot, not dialing twice, nothing. It's just like, I'm just putting them on the dialer. Whoever picks up is great. 54. He pulled out 54 nurtures, and there were some appointments in there too. A lot of people even just wanting to talk to a lender, and they're not ready yet. That's okay. I'm going to be in business in 6 months. I'm going to be in business in 3 years. It doesn't matter. But now I have re-engaged and reignited this pipeline. And I'm so excited because it's only one time. I mean, thrilled. We're thrilled.
All right, folks, we are back, and I've got a really good one for you today. We've got Kristen Santizo, who is an agent, helps run a team out of Arizona. And, she's here today to talk about, the great success she's had with her ISA. But let's get started from the very top, Kristen. Why don't you do a quick introduction, a little bit about yourself and your husband and the team, how did you guys get started in real estate, and where are you at today with your business? Go for it.
Okay, well, we are located in Chandler, Arizona. We work the Phoenix metro area. My husband and I run a team. He is the team leader. I'm actually a nurse, and who I had stopped working at the hospital. He's like, just come and help me for a little bit, like 3-month period. Well, that's like 9 years. So been doing it for a little longer. So we partnered together, and he runs the sales team and I run the admin team. And so now we have a team of we've been all over the board. We've had a team of 20 agents. We've had a team of one agent. And now we have a team of 5 agents. So that's where we're at today. And we were grateful to connect with you so you could help us grow our team, grow the lead generation piece to our team.
I love it. Yeah, so you guys, 9 years on the team, I'm guessing your husband's been in it even longer. You guys have been around the block, the ups and downs. Arizona's, it's always it's always on the cutting edge. They're either, things are going great, things are going bad. Arizona's, there's no middle ground sometimes in Arizona. So you guys have navigated, some choppy waters there. Why ISA? Like what drove you guys to make that decision to add that role to your team? Had you tried it before? Was this something brand new? Tell me more.
I'm a numbers person, so I'm more like looking at the data, and I'm telling the sales team, hey, we need help. We need to be able to call not only the leads that are coming in, but also our database. And so I was like, absolutely, Sergio, I am not going to do it. And I was doing it for a while. I was like, well, I'll try and multitask and just do it myself. And I was making the phone calls, and I'm capable. Like every real estate agent, you're capable, but then you go back to what's your best yes. And so my best yes was helping run the admin team. Sergio's best yes was helping run the sales team and helping his agents. So we really did need somebody to go through our database, our CRM. We have 12,000 leads in our CRM over, the 14 years that he's been doing this, meeting people. So, and I had 8,500 were in this pond of, I kind of gave up on you. I mean, I didn't give up, but it was like, okay, you told me no, and I just put you here. I put you in the pond, and it had been a really long time since I'd been in the pond. And so I knew I needed an ISA to just like go through that first. I have a lot of projects in my mind, and like, I could use you here and use you here, but I was like, just go through the database. I know there's gold in there, and so I just need you to pull stuff out of there.
100%, and I love the way you put it, right? What's your best yes? Because I think if you ask, an agent on your team, hey, can you go through those 8,500 people? Let me know what happens. I'm pretty sure they'd say that's not their best yes, right? They're great with meeting with people and talking to people and negotiating deals and, converting leads, right? That's kind of their thing. But going off, and farming and trying to find, some a needle in the haystack is not always like their highest and best use, right? So I don't think it's going to be their best yes. So that was the need. You saw an opportunity. 8,500. It's a huge number. 8,500 of leads that were in the pond. No activity. No one following up with them. No plan for them. And
no plan.
There's got to be something out here.
Yeah. So when we had hired you guys, that's where I sent the ISA, and he dove in, and after one shot. Just one call, like not dialing twice, nothing. It's just like, I'm just putting them on the dialer. Whoever picks up is great. 54. he pulled out 54 nurtures, and there were some appointments in there too. A lot of people even just wanting to talk to a lender. So it was just like he's been sending
Wow.
people to our lender, he's been sending, and they're not ready yet. That's okay. Like I'm going to be in business in 6 months. I'm going to be in business in 3 years. It doesn't matter. But now I have re-engaged and reignited this pipeline, and I'm so excited because it's only one time. So
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
thrilled.
The,
We're
the
thrilled.
the first pass
First
really
pass.
yielded something really, really interesting. When everyone was saying, "Oh, there's nothing there. Those are dead leads.
Hmm.
They're old. Nothing's going to happen." If anything, this is the funny thing about internet leads, because agents can complain about, oh, they're very top of funnel, they're not ready to go. An agent's internet lead is usually not further back on the funnel. A lot of them can be actually further along in the process, right?
Hmm.
Just because they're not responsive to us, the in the CRM, doesn't mean they're not responsive to somebody, right? Like that
Exactly.
someone else might be having that conversation with them, and there's always a conversation to be had with many, many, many of those leads. But you're right. Who has the time? Who's gonna make that a priority? Who's gonna get it done? And maybe they're gonna do it for a day or two, and they're like, oh yeah, I got busy with the next thing, right? Another client responded in my hot list, and I no longer
Mhm.
have time to go and find the rest of them, right? So I think you guys as a team came up with that strategy. Said, okay, this is a priority now for the team. So much so that we're going to hire someone
Mhm.
just to fulfill that role. Someone that's not going to get busy with something else. Like this is their job, right?
Yes.
Agents have a lot of things to do. An ISA has one job: make calls, convert leads. Like that's what they do 100%.
Yes, it's been so great because am I going to even fault my agent for grabbing that low hanging fruit, that hot lead? Of course, that's today business. We have to have that in. Um, but what was a way for us to feed the pipeline? It's only as good as what's coming in. So if we can kind of grow some of that, like you said, they're connecting with somebody. They're looking. Today's market, there's so many opportunities, like you can find it at the tip of your fingers tips. So I always am like, if I have my CRM going and I am sending in the property search, I'm like, let them see my face when they're having their cup of coffee. Let them build rapport with me. Let them build relationship with me. And I don't even know about it. And now my ISA comes in and he's like, oh yeah, Kristen's my partner. And so they know, a lot of them even know the name because you've been
Mm,
sending them property searches for 5 years.
that's
And
true.
they're like, oh, yeah, that girl. But now it's real. Now I've reached out. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's been amazing. It's been great.
yeah, 100%. And you said a couple of really important things, right? Because the emails and the alerts and all these things are great at nurturing leads and keeping you,
Hmm.
in their sphere, keeping you top of mind, keeping you there. There's relevance, but it's not enough. And I want to say that to the audience, that those tools are great tools. They're great. The automation is great. The content is great. It's useful for them, and they keep it top of mind, which is the most important thing. That in and of itself is not enough. I would love for everyone to respond to those emails and go, "Hey, I'm ready to buy now. Hey, I'm ready to list now." I would love for that to happen. That's not a thing, right? That's not really a thing. The reason is that sets the stage, and you got to go out there and it's showtime, right? You still have to go out in front of it and make the call and have the conversation with them, because otherwise that work goes to waste. And I think too many teams allow a lot of that work to go to waste because they're not picking up the phone and trying to reconnect. And some of these leads might have even said, you know what, I'm not really looking. Don't call me. I'm not ready yet, right?
They
And
all
they
did.
get
They all
discarded.
said that.
Yeah, 100%.
Every
They
single
get
one
they
of them.
discarded and forgotten about that, right? And I tell folks, a lot of times, and we've tested this out. We'll grab a batch, let's say of 100, and the very top of funnel, like 100 Facebook leads, Facebook lead ads, 100 of them, and you can usually convert about 10 of them, to a nurture. Out of 100 easily in the first pass, right? And a lot of them are going to say, no, 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 I'm not interested. No, no,
Mhm.
it's not me. It wasn't me. I didn't even make the call. Well, everything you can think of. I tell them 30 days later, call those 90 people again, maybe even a different phone number to mix it up a little bit, and ask them the same question you did 30 days ago. And you're going to squeeze out another 4 or 5 nurtures out of the same group of people, you'd probably already discarded, right? Because you got them at a different time. You got them, that they had they're not even going to remember that call you had 30 days ago, right? Let's be real. They have no
Yeah.
recollection of that. You might have gotten them at a better time though, right? But you've got to keep trying. It's not good enough because internet lead generation is great. It's amazing. If you don't squeeze every transaction out of those leads, you're never going to get the 5x 10x ROI you should be getting from your internet lead
And none of
dollars,
them
right?
called me. None of them. None of the 54 people that the ISA, none of them called me. Nobody reached out. Nobody replied to my text. Nobody replied to an email. Nobody hearted a property on a property search for me to even know. Nobody did that. It was because we had somebody going through and connecting with them on that personal level. And a lot of people love to the hey, okay, the texting, and I love texting because even the ISA is using within my CRM, he's using texting and people are responding
Right.
that way. So they're hitting them a couple different ways. They're making phone
Sure.
calls, but then as soon as they're doing that, they're sending the text right through the system. So it works very seamlessly and it's winning. So I
Yeah.
have nothing but amazing things to say about it. We're so happy,
100%.
actually.
Yeah, 100%, and there's nothing that replaces that two-way conversation over the phone. And people, this is 2025. A lot of people don't want phone calls. They don't like that. I don't even call my mom. Why am I going to call you? There's a lot of that, but nothing quite replaces that two-way conversation over the phone, that level of connection, that level of attention. It makes a difference. And when someone actually
Mhm.
does it, makes those calls, you're gonna see results because this business is about conversations. How many conversations did you have today
Yep,
as an agent, as a team? And your ISA helped you generate 54 conversations that wouldn't have happened otherwise. They wouldn't be
absolutely.
having
And he's
another
not
agent.
AI either. I mean, on my CRM, I have an AI bot, Anna. she's
Oh,
she's on there, right? And it's fine. And I'm glad I have that. There's nothing wrong with having that. But in this day and age, also people are like, oh, is it AI texting me? And do I want to talk about my personal finances if I am looking for to talk to a lender? Because I really want to talk to a lender first. But the comfort of, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. This is confidential. I know where my information's going. I know that the next steps are for me to be connected with a lender or be connected with an agent. So it feels safer, I think.
100%. And even and I've had some folks here, on the show, great people I love, great folks from Wailopo, great folks from Lofty, great, I mean,
Mhm.
amazing people. And then and Lofty and Wailopo and Follow Boss have great AI, like amazing
Totally.
AI for conversations and even for calling and everything. Every single one of those people will tell you as an agent, if you don't pick up the phone, it's not going to happen. Like
Exactly.
if you don't call the leads, it doesn't matter how much awesome automation and awesome, tools and AI you've got because they haven't bridged that gap. It just brings
Mhm.
people up to your attention, right? It's better at that.
Yes.
And you still got to pick up the phone and make the call. It doesn't replace that part of the activity, right? And like you said, Kristen, a lot of these folks, they weren't responsive to a lot of those drip emails and those marketing emails.
They weren't.
I would suspect that they're just getting a lot of them from different agents. Probably they signed up on many websites in their initial search or their different searches, and they might see some of them and not recognize some names, but there's three of them or four of them or five of them, right, or half a dozen of them, and which one are they more interested in? They might not be able to tell the difference at that stage. They
Yeah.
can't tell. It's just they just want the inventory. I don't need an agent yet. I just want to look at
Yeah.
homes. Well, then we got to reach out
Right.
and remind them why they probably should talk to an agent, right? So to help them out, to answer their questions. Do you need to talk to a lender? Let me connect you with that, right? Like, be the solution to where they are,
Hmm.
wherever they are in the process, if they're really early, in the middle, or towards the end, you can help, right? Doesn't really
Yes.
matter where they are in the process. And if you
Yep.
don't, sometimes agents, I get a little frustrated that they only want people at the tail end of the process. Like, oh, I want
Well, who
someone to give me money
doesn't?
in 90
I mean,
days.
who
Well, I
doesn't?
need,
Who
of
doesn't want
course,
that?
right?
Like, of course they want
100%.
that because that's like tomorrow's paycheck. I get
A
that. Like, I'm not
hundred
faulting
percent.
any agent for that.
Yeah,
But if you can see the long game, can you see it? Do you visualize yourself in business in 5 years? Because you need that in order
yes,
to be in business in 5 years. And so you're not just this constant, I've got to get out there, I mean, every day you should be lead generating. I'm not going to say that. But if you
sure,
can build a beautiful pipeline of somebody
hundred
you've
percent.
met now, like the pressure's off and you actually have more of a business instead of just this panic, the ups and downs.
Yeah, the roller coaster, the fun roller coaster of income that most agents go to, and the reason most agents leave the business is because of that roller.
Yeah.
It's just too stressful. It's crazy, right? 100%. I agree with you. Well, let's get a little bit tactical, Kristen. So tell me a little bit more about these leads. Is it like Google pay per click? Is it Facebook? Is it Zillow, Realtor? Is it everything and all of the above? Where did those 8,500 people come from?
All of the above.
Oh wow,
I have people that we met at an open house 10 years ago. I have
wow.
everybody still in there. Google pay per click, Zillow, I mean, really pretty much anything you have. I think any agent who's been in the business a while is like, I probably tried it. Oh yeah, I tried that. I tried that. So, um, I have been really good about keeping them. If a sign call came in, even in the old school days, like I kept their information, and so
Love it.
my scripting is, uh, hey, I met you a while back, or you met my partner a while back at an open house, or you met me a while back. You called off one of our little signs a while back. Just wanted to check in. And I always use the while back. I don't say, hey, you came into an open house 12 years ago. Like I'm not saying that, okay, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But
Too weird.
yeah, I, I guess I had always thought I have to keep their information unless they tell me to go pound sand, then okay, no problem. But otherwise, like I'm keeping your information and eventually you're going to learn to love me.
I
Eventually you're
love
going
that.
to want to
So
do business with me. And if you don't,
100%.
that's totally fine. And you just keep on looking at my houses. You just keep on looking all you want. And I know that there's some agents and even in the beginning, we're like, well, why are they using me? Why would they be looking at my dad? Like my stuff. And I was like, of course, let them look at your stuff. Let them know, learn to know you. Let them look at your social media. Let them look at all that stuff. Don't get offended. Like how you cannot
I,
walk in a fence in this business.
I've seen exactly that reaction. Hey, this lead hasn't responded to me, and they keep looking at my property listings. Should I kick them out?
Good.
They go,
Good.
no, you shouldn't kick
That's
them out. I'm like,
fantastic.
don't.
You should
They're
be
interacting.
clapping. You should be
Yeah,
like, yay. That should be your posture is thank goodness. Yay. I hope they share that with a family member. You have no clue how big these people's arms are, their reaches. We have no clue. We're looking at this one person who's looking at their $44,000 mobile home. You don't know that they're living in a $5 million home and they're just trying to find something for their aunt who's moving into town from wherever. And they just are like, oh, okay, I'll buy you a place. Like we have no clue. So I'm
100%,
always like,
100%.
absolutely, this is wonderful. I'm so excited that you're looking on my website. Thank you.
100%, right? And I love that. Because it's crazy because you have a database not just of online leads, like in real life,
Oh,
face to
yeah,
face conversations. Your team has had, which is always a really valuable, interaction, like really valuable interaction. And you're keeping them in there, right, in the same place, ready for to put on the marketing, to call them, to put on these campaigns. I think that's great, and I think that's a gold mine. I agree with you, right? There's a lot of value in that database if on the first pass you can get 54 people, wait till you guys, hit it, throughout the year, you should always be finding time to hit the pond. Like it should be built in, like making sure that, the ISA is consistently just going through it. Every 30 days, different people are going to respond
hmm,
to the same message, to the same prompt. Different people are going to respond, and the same people are going to respond differently as well. Both things
absolutely.
are true, right? So it's one of those things you have to hit it. You have to hit it. So tell us a little bit about your tech stack. You've got a CRM. You've been doing this for a really long time. Like, have you changed? Have you kept the same CRM the whole time? Did you have to migrate this data, over the years? What have you been using?
We did. We were in Boomtown for years,
Oh
and
wow,
then we ended up going to Follow a Bus just for because the company that we moved to, another brokerage that we had moved to at that time, they're like, "You have to use this one." We're like, "Okay, we'll try it,"
sure.
and it was great. I have nothing but great things to say about Follow Up Boss. But then I ended up we're in Lofty now, and I'm
Lofty,
happy with
awesome.
Lofty. That's we're thrilled with Lofty. I have I heard in the past, it's like, what's the best CRM? And it's the one you use. And I'm sure everybody's heard that before, but that's
For
so
sure.
true. And because I'm a task girl, and probably that's just my personality, like I like checking off the tasks. I'm the girl who likes making the phone calls every day. Like I don't have more of the sales agent personality. So I love CRMs. I love them. I think they're great. I think they
Well,
keep me
you're the
organized. I
nurse.
like to be
You
organized. I
need
like all that stuff.
you want the
So
chart.
that's, yeah, CRMs are made for
100%.
me.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're coming from the, the medical profession, it's like charts and checklists and, things better be right, the first time. So 100%. You're coming from a
I
really
tell the
organized
team,
culture.
yeah, I tell the team all the time. I'm like, in nursing, they say, if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. So if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. So when they joined my team, I'm like, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. And they're like, but I called them and and I was like, well, it didn't get documented. And I probably sound like I'm a hard ass, but I'm also going, you have to be able to tell the story. You have to be able, so when you show up and you're going through the pond 8 years later, now you can see that Sally's mom was really ill and she couldn't move for 3 years. Well, I missed the
Wow.
3 year mark. Well, I'm not, you know what I mean? So if you can have the story in there,
Yeah,
be the best storyteller, and it doesn't take long, especially with AI now. It's like just talk into things and it just writes it
it's
for
crazy.
you. Push send, talk, send. You can do it so easily, even compared to 8, 10 years ago. So,
Yeah, amazing. The AI can transcribe the call. It can drop voice notes
mhm.
in there. It just makes it, so much easier, so much more efficient. So I love that. And the ISA, have they been just calling using Lofty? Are they using the built-in everything, kind of the built-in dialer that you have in there?
So it's very interesting, and I will say one thing I actually love about your company is, so I had started with one ISA, and the one thing that I said when I started is like, I actually don't want to listen to anybody's phone calls. I don't want to listen. I just want it to be done. I don't want to listen. I don't want to create a script. I just want you to handle all the training. And so we had an ISA who you guys, one of your coaches actually came to me and said, hey, Kristen, I've tried to train her. It's like not going great. We're going to give it a little bit more. And they came to me and they're like, I can't, no, this isn't a good fit. This is not a good fit.
That's
We need to get you
great.
somebody else. We're going to go ahead and we are going to get you Ed. That's who I have now. And so he's been amazing. Like the way that you guys train them, the way that you're able to go back and coach, and then the pressure's off of me. So Ed has been using, because I didn't know, I haven't been in a dialer. We've used the Mojo dialer. That's what my agents used to use, but we were in Lofty. And so I was like, well, what am I going to have everybody use? And we just used the dialer in Lofty. I just got the dialer, the unlimited calls, the unlimited text, whatever that was. And I said, go for it. And the one thing I really appreciated also was your team able to train even on the Lofty system. I know how to do it. I just don't want to, and I don't have the time to do it, which is
Is
why
that
I'm
is that your
hiring you guys.
highest is that your highest value activity? Is that is
No,
that your
and
is
it's
that your best
not. And
yes?
yeah, that goes exactly back to the best yes. So when it was like, hey, I bought the dialer. I clicked yes, that part of it, and you handed it over. And so it was so amazing that you guys were like, I'll look at the calls, I'll listen to them. And for you guys to come back, I know that the team had even kind of warned me about 2 weeks in, like, hey, this isn't working out.
Gotcha.
And I'll just be honest, I love second chances. I'm a girl who loves, like, oh, come on, they can do it. I just believe in people. I'm like, come on, people can get this. And so I love to see the best of that. That always does not work well. My personality does not like to fire people. My personality does not like to disappoint people. My personality is like, oh, I see this in you. I can see it. And so
I
it
want you to
really,
win.
right. I could see you could totally win with this. But for whatever the reason, that person just wasn't doing it. And they weren't following your written criteria, those basic metrics. They weren't meeting your criteria. It wasn't even mine. And that just took so much pressure off of me that I can feel free to continue to run my business knowing somebody's got my back. You guys are looking for over my dollars, right? And you want the best for me as well. And so that felt really great. That felt amazing that you're like, no, we're going to go ahead and we're going to train him in the Lofty system. And I know it was difficult because it's like, oh, you get in there and you think, oh, um, I can I'm gonna have to retrain somebody else again because that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I'm really
Oh
sorry. You
no.
guys are gonna have to retrain him again. Boom, he was up and running in no time flat.
Love it.
And he had no experience in a CRM at
There you
all.
go.
He had come from something completely different than real estate, actually. The first
Different
one
industry.
had real estate experience, the second one did not.
Oh, that
And
is so interesting. So, because
mhm,
sometimes that's such a good point. Let me jump on that
mhm,
because, a lot of folks request, when I need someone with real estate experience.
I
And,
did.
that's great. And that can be a good indicator. It can be,
Mhm.
but the thing that dwarfs, their industry experience is their skill, their motivation, and their mindset. Like that is like 99% of the job of the challenge of this job, and their prior experience, a couple percentage points off of that. It can help, right? A lot of
Mhm.
times we have to untrain other things they learn, with another real estate agent that didn't do things the right way, right? So I thank you for sharing that example because it's not always the person with real estate experience that has the drive and the
Mhm.
tenacity and just to get this job done, right? To pick up the phone, they don't even know who's on the other end, boom, and just to make it happen. That is such a great example. A good person, talented person beats that every single time.
You can't train personality.
No, 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 no.
Can't
100%.
train tonality and confidence. And
Yeah.
so even when you are going into doing something scared, right? Like, because we all are a little intimidated when we're going doing something new, but you can't train a level of compassion. You can't train, you can say things and you can create scripts for it, but somebody sounding like a robot, like, just let me read a script
It's all
versus
delivery.
I can stay with you in this conversation. That's all I want. That is all I want. I don't need, because these are nurtures. And eventually this was the breeding ground for being able to go in, and now I can do new leads that are coming in. And that's where he's at. Now he's like, "Oh, I
Love it.
I can do both." Because that's
Yep.
easy. We're just having conversation. We are just having conversation. I'm a real person. I'm relaxed. I'm confident. I might not have all the answers. And I think people so appreciate that, the honesty of, it's okay if you don't have the answers. That's what I tell it all the time. I'm like, just tell them, no, that's a great question. Let me have somebody else
I'm gonna
ask you.
I'm gonna find the answer for you. We'll find it
Yeah,
together.
that's all
We'll
people
figure it
want,
out.
just
Yeah.
honesty.
100%, right? Yeah, I love that. And so what? Tell me a little bit about the timeline. You got a first person in within a few
Mhm.
weeks, kind of knew wasn't a good fit. You made the change. How long has Ed been working with you guys?
The 9th of July. I was on
Okay.
vacation when your coaching staff called me, and
Oh, wow.
I was absolutely not expecting. I mean, I know you gave me a heads up a couple weeks ago because she was there for 4 weeks, four and a
Got
half.
it. Got it.
And it was me. And it was me because I was like, oh, I didn't even want to make a change because I was like, are we going to give her a chance? But I was so thankful that your team was like, no, we are drawing a line in the sand. And some people are going to hear this and be like, that's so crazy. That's just a stupid, like, of course we would fire somebody. For
Yeah.
me, I am not like that all the time. Now,
Yeah.
my
I,
husband,
and
if he were on the
and this
phone,
is
he'd be like, shh, cut him off.
boom.
But he was too busy, and he did put this on my plate. And so because
Yeah.
it was on
You
my
got to admit
plate,
that.
I was at that 4.5 week. Your team said, nope, we're going to do it. So they almost made the decision for me, like, this is not good. This is not wisdom. And I was like, oh, I'm on board for that. So then we did that. So really not even a full 2 months. So has Ed
Okay.
been with us. And so it's
Got it.
been it's
No,
been
yeah. That
great. And now we're going into different areas, not just the pond. We're going into all of these different things, whether it's new lead, whether it's recruiting new agents to our team. There's so many different areas now that it's just
love
it's
it.
just getting more exciting.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a good story, right? You want to make sure that and this is a very common experience. I want to be super transparent with folks. Sometimes the first person you select, you're going off an interview, you're going off vibes. That person might not work
Mhm.
out, and it might be the more experienced person, it might be the more senior person. That's not always the best indicator of success. What is a good indicator of success is getting someone in the seat making calls. That is the game, right? And calling as a different to other roles in the team. I think other roles are different. When a calling role, it's so hard to do. The interview gives you some information. most of it you get when they're in the chair the first 30 days. That's when you're going to realize you have a good person or not, right? 100%. So you went through that, you guys made a change, and you knocked it out of the park, in the next one. That's what I love to
Yes.
see, right? It can take a couple tries to find a really good person. You want a really good person, not just, you don't
Yes.
just want to get by, right? That's not going to really move the needle for you guys. It's not going to get you where you want to go. Having a great person in the chair making those calls is what's going to get the results you guys have seen so far.
Yeah. No,
I love it.
I feel very lucky, and I feel very lucky to have the support of you because as any agent is, or the admin, whatever they're running at 50 miles an hour. Like they're just running. They're just trying to grab more business. They're just doing everyday stuff. They have their own routine. So to add on between even finding somebody and then training somebody, and I have done that before. I have trained, I have done the script practice, I've done everything. It is massively time consuming.
Not easy.
And am I at my desk all day long? If I'm an agent, there's no way. When I look at my husband, if he was the one, because he's the agent, if he's the one who has to train, this is not getting done. And there's nothing wrong with my husband. This is just the role he's in. Like, but this is not getting done. And the systems, that's the other thing. Like, do you know the systems in and out? And are you available for your agent to be able to ask you, or that ISA to be able to ask you questions as agent? Like there are things that are going to come up, and how do you want me to say this? So just the availability to have like your coaching staff be able to answer those questions when you need an answer right away. Yes, there's going to be custom things that are specific to my business that might not be specific to your business. And so those things we've talked about and we've planned for, but things come up and you want to have those answers right away. So it's really nice to know that you're not in it alone, that you have a whole team over there supporting.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that. Because yeah, that's the job of the team to save you time, right? To make this easier. Because you're
Mhm.
right. Agents are busy, right? And we always love it when we have
Yes.
someone that's handling the operations for the team. Usually that person's in the office. You guys should reach them, for most times. So that helps a ton, right? Making sure that process just goes faster. Not that the
Mhm.
agents can't do it on their own. It's just going to take a lot longer because they're busy. Agents are busy, and that's always a thing. So
Yeah.
Kristen, question for you. This is the last one.
Okay.
If you were talking to someone that's on the fence, considering hiring PowerISA, bringing on someone to help them call their database, they know there's something there. What would you say to them? What would you recommend they do?
I mean, if you are doing no business and you have all the time in the world, then go ahead and do it yourself. But if you are doing any
100%.
amount of business at all, and I would say absolutely you need help. And there's a difference between knowing you need help and actually executing on it. I knew that we needed help 4 years ago, and my husband said my agents can do it. Why am I going to pay somebody? Because my agents, they have the capability. They're fully capable. Of course they're capable, but what it all goes back to where they're going to spend their time. They're pulling that pot stuff. They're in their car. They're taking buyers out. So just because you know you need something, do it. Make it an actionable item. And this, I would say, absolutely like hire Power ISA. I have actually used other ISA companies before, and shame on Kristen. There, I remember there being one, and I did not inspect what I expected. And a whole month went by, and the guy made 3 calls. I didn't check the dialer because I kept on saying, I'm going to go and do it later. I'm going to do it later. I'm doing it later. Things
Wow.
came up. And when I looked up finally and I inspected it, it was like, oh,
Did I
well,
pull up the wrong screen?
okay,
Am I
bye.
in the
That
right?
was
Am
that.
I in the
No,
right
that was a
place?
real easy fire for me. Okay. Like I had no problem there.
100%.
But
100%.
I would absolutely find a reputable company who has proven talent already and has proven success stories. And I love that right away that they're the ones managing, they're the ones giving you the reports. Me and my husband both get the reports every week, and he just goes, delete. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to see. He's on to the next thing, but he does know that he has me looking at them. And so
There we
I'm
go.
very thankful for them, especially having that experience where younger Kristen made mistakes about that. And I did not look. And so just knowing that somebody's got my back, somebody's watching my, or I mean, really, you're watching my money too. You want to see me win. And so just finding that and with partnering with you guys would be, has been great for us anyway. That's all I can say. So I recommend them.
Thanks so much, Christian. Appreciate the time you made today. I know you guys are busy. It's a successful team. So thank you so much for making the time and appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.